Good morning. I wanted to take a couple minutes this morning and talk to you a little bit about something we use, a verse we use as kind of a encouragement. It comes from from the Old Testament, and it's found in the New Testament in Hebrews. And the idea is that God has said that I will never fail you, or I will never abandon you. I will never forsake you. And we often think of that in the context that God is with us, that God loves us, that God doesn't leave us stranded, so to speak, along the highway of life, if you want a metaphor. But in reference, it's used in the New Testament in a place that is very appropriate to what we're dealing with right now. And if I were to take a quiz, I don't think that a lot of us would pass this question, because we would think it's used in the New Testament, just if we were to try to remember from memory, as some kind of consolation, some kind of comfort that God hasn't forsaken us or doesn't abandon us. But the context from the book of Hebrews is very interesting and very appropriate for our moment. We're dealing with something that has financial implications right now. Some people are having a hardship because their job has been cut back or changed. The money has changed. The input of money or financial input in their lives is different. A lot of people, it hasn't changed at all. But in many ways, just the coronavirus thing has shut down traffic lanes, has disrupted distribution, has changed the availability of things. And so that has changed. But for a lot of people, it's changed their financial situation, their financial outlook. Many people have seen their retirement funds just go down through the floor, like someone cut a hole in the floor of your retirement funds, and they just were draining through like sand in an hourglass. And here's the deal of what the context of this verse in the New Testament has to do with money. It has to do with money. I will never leave you or forsake you. The context is about money. The context is about money. The verse before it says, do not love money, but be satisfied with what you have. In the Message, it says this: don't be obsessed with getting more material things. Be relaxed with what you have, since God has assured us He will never let us down, never walk off or leave us. So we can boldly say that God is here, ready to help. I am fearless no matter what. Who or what can get to me? So, in this context, it isn't about God's presence as a comfort for our discouragement or those kind of things. It's a comfort to know that God hasn't abandoned us in a time when money is an issue. And it is an issue in a way that we're not supposed to trust in our money. And we can all see that. We've all lived through that. If you have any kind of a savings account or some kind of investment account, you know that you were trusting in that, so to speak, and now it's changed. It's completely different. You don't have what you had. And it reminds us of this fact that we are not supposed to trust in money, no matter what source, no matter what investment company tells you, no matter what counselor of investments or financial matters tells you. We can trust in it to a certain extent, but it is not the same as trusting in God. it is totally different. For God will never abandon us. God will never forsake us in all matters, from the consolation of our soul to the financial matters that are right here around us right in this moment. So trust in God. Don't trust in money. Love God. Don't love your money. For God will remain faithful, and God will always be God, even into eternity. There's a few thoughts for this morning. Thank you for watching.